In my opinion, many of the challenges that we as a civilization are confronted with are the direct results of our own actions. These activities are harmful to ourselves and must be discontinued immediately. I mean, things are the way they are, but even so, I thought it was necessary to bring them up once more today due to the fact that they are still a problem. As you are all aware, I try to have an open mind and take into account other points of view whenever it is possible so that I can paint an accurate and fair image of the situation. As a result of this, keep that in mind while you watch. I'm not talking about those who have made the decision to go through life alone on purpose. In today's world, I feel that these are the key reasons why women choose to be intentionally lonely in this day and age. It's possible that these people just can't seem to find anybody to share their life with. Let's get started since, in my opinion, these are some of the reasons for why we should do this. To begin, there is the problem of casual partnerships as opposed to committed relationships. The former appear to be on the rise due to the culture of hookups and a general reluctance to long-term commitment. I know that there are many men who are hesitant to settle down and start a family because they are afraid of being hurt again, and if that describes you, please know that I empathize with your situation. I know that there are many men who are hesitant to settle down and start a family because they are afraid of being hurt again. But I would say that men are also struggling with this issue, as there are many women who are wife material and who want to get married or be in a committed relationship but are unable to find that due to the shortage of individuals who are willing to commit. Men are also struggling with this issue, as there are many women who are wife material and who want to get married or be in a committed relationship. In a similar vein, I believe that the contemporary dating landscape is replete with uncertainty. We have been seeing each other on a daily basis for the previous 4 months, now on a weekly basis. Who exactly are we, anyway? If I had to guess, I'd say that the two of you are in a relationship, but one of you is hesitant to use the term relationship. I think that a lot of the time, people start seeing someone casually, enjoy hooking up with them, and anticipate something more to come out of it. However, it never gets to that stage, leaving the lady or whoever wants the commitment feeling angry, disappointed, and confused. I think this happens a lot. They had the naive belief that if I just hook up with this person, it will turn into something more, but in my experience, that is not often the case with relationships of that nature. Casual hookups could work out well for certain individuals, but it doesn't work for many people, and I think people get a little too far before realizing that, then it becomes, a huge complicated mess, and ultimately, someone is always left unhappy due to the aforementioned fear of commitment and, often, a lack of honesty about this. But it can work for some people, and it can work for others. My impression is that a lot of individuals are simply wasting their time. For this reason, I feel that being honest and forthright about your objectives is of the utmost importance. That way, nobody will be upset about anything at all. So, if you're looking for a one-night stand, be upfront about it, and if the person you're seeing has told you that they're only interested in a casual fling, don't try to make it more than it is or convince yourself that maybe this is the one. Instead, be honest about what you're looking for and what you're looking for in a relationship. He will stand out from the crowd. You can rely on us to not behave in such a manner. Just take a moment to take in what is happening in front of you. I could go into a lot more detail, but the main point is that it is essential to be genuine so that you may see things as they actually are rather than how you wish them to be, and so that you meet someone whose values are aligned with your own. It's not always going to be easy to find a nice partner, and I think that's something that some people forget from time to time. It is not enough to just do nothing and hope that things would improve. In other words, I believe that this can be attributed to the growth of the hookup culture as well as the prevalence of one-night stands. It's possible that people aren't putting in effort because they'd rather have the satisfaction that comes with having casual hookups in the short run than the satisfaction that comes with having a committed relationship in the long term. When men text women around 11 o'clock at night asking what's up or you up when they merely want to meet up with them and not go on a date or anything else, many women find this behavior to be quite frustrating. To tell you the truth, I'm reaching the point where I think some of these standards to be a little bit ridiculous. On a first date, you shouldn't place as much importance on the amount of money he spends on you as you should on his actions and how he treats you. To mix standards with preferences is, in my opinion, a widespread mistake that people have. For instance, you might prefer that a guy take you out to dinner rather than on a coffee date. This is an example of a preference, not a standard. The emphases are mine throughout. No, I do not believe that should be used as a general guideline in any way. To me, what is most important is not the amount of money or material goods that someone spends on you, but rather how they treat you and the amount of respect they have for you. These criteria do not apply to the current situation. Due to the fact that these are preferences, it is also essential to look for a partner whose conception of effort is congruent with your own. For instance, if you are a guy who wants to take a girl out and she tells you, "I only accept dates at 5-star restaurants," and if that doesn't fit with your lifestyle, then you probably shouldn't go out with her. Whether or not I agree with it is irrelevant. Everyone has the right to their own thoughts and tastes, and if they don't mesh with your own, you don't have to go out with them. Everyone has the right to their own thoughts and tastes, and if they don't mesh with your own, you don't have to go out with them. In addition, if you are a man and you are watching this, I want you to understand that you are going to have to put some work into this. Both men and women need to put in some work. Definitely a street with traffic in both directions. The amount of time, effort, and effort that you put in should be repaid to you in like. I'd give the same response to any man or woman who happened to be looking at this. If you like someone and are interested in them, you owe it to yourself to put forth the effort to go out on a date with them. It is not required to spend a lot of money on a date. Therefore, if the other person insists on spending a lot of money and that is not what you are looking for, you may want to reconsider going out with them. It is not necessary to spend a lot of money on a date. I also believe that many men are growing tired of the dating game because the women they are choosing to go out with are only interested in manipulating them or using them for what they can get in return for their efforts, such as a nice dinner, a day at the mall, or a gift. This is another reason why I think many men are growing tired of the dating game. As a consequence of this, we may claim that this problem has a cyclical nature and that it is being solved by a series of chain reactions. It's a never-ending cycle. First, women manipulate guys, then boys become sick of being controlled, and then guys stop wanting to go out with girls because of the cycle. This is a significant problem. In addition, there is a prevalent mentality that can be summed up by the question, "What do I care?" as well as the view that the individual who demonstrates the least amount of worry ought to be commended. That's not how things work in the real world. Take a good hard look at yourself first before you go imposing all of these illogical expectations on the people around you and everyone else. I believe that a lot of men and women are equally unhappy with each other because they are pursuing the wrong kinds of individuals in their romantic relationships. If this is not the case, you must first work on bettering yourself before you can expect others to live up to the unattainable expectations you have set. Again, I believe that this is a significant problem for people of both sexes, and I believe that social media has made us even more idealistic about it, since it allows us to watch seemingly perfect people enjoying seemingly ideal lives around the clock. To hold oneself to the standards that are set by such unreachable images or the people that one sees on social media is the furthest thing possible from the truth. Nothing could be further from the truth. Not something that can be found in the world as we know it. There are some things that the average person simply cannot afford, such as taking a trip every weekend, carrying around pricey designer purses, driving a flashy automobile, or living in a house. Making the effort to get there is required in order to succeed. You can't merely expect it to happen to you, and you have no legal grounds to demand that it does. The truth of the matter is that the standards and preferences of our society are completely pathological. Having said that, I do hope that some of you would stop being so idealistic in light of this one tiny fact I expressed in light of the previous sentence. Is there anything that can top the top four and what they have to offer? The sheer amount of options presents a daunting challenge. I am fully aware of what you are thinking, but in all candor, having an excessive number of options is not a desirable trait. Even though many of you are probably guffawing behind your hands right now, I'd really appreciate it if you could bear with me here even if there are a lot of other choices. I'm sure that many of you are smirking behind your hands right now. When you take all of this into consideration, you can't help but question whether or not you're being completely objective. I concur that women have more chances than men do, particularly in the domain of online dating and other types of digital communication. This is especially true in today's world. This is a significant issue, and I think that it distorts the reality for women who, after becoming accustomed to receiving a large number of matches, messages, and compliments, start to feel that their good luck will continue along the same lines.